Hello there, this is Melissa, and I'd like to share with you a book about how plants grow. It's called From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons. And this book has been around for a while. It was first published in 1991. Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Here's some plants you might see if you go for a walk. There's a tulip, a daisy, a rose, a pea, a buttercup, and corn. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. A fun activity might be to go for a seed safari in your neighborhood and see what kinds of seeds you can find. I bet you'll find an acorn. And you might find a maple seed that looks kind of like a helicopter. And all kinds of nuts are also seeds. And here's a seed that might come from a dandelion. All seeds grow into some kind of plant that made them, the same kind of plant that made them. Here is an acorn, and that grows into a huge oak tree. A little sunflower seed can grow into a tall sunflower. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. There's some zinnia, apple tree and apple blossoms, a dandelion, and aster. A flower is made up of many parts. There's the sepal, there's the stem, I bet you know about that. And at the bottom of the pistil are tiny egg cells called ovules. Did you know that flowers have eggs? In the center of the flower is the pistil. The parts of the flower around the pistil are the stamens. Stamens make yellow powder called pollen. The sticky part at the top of the pistil is the stigma. And here's the petal. Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. There's the stigma and the pollen, the pistil, the stamen. Pollination happens in different ways. Often wind blows pollen from flower to flower, like in these poppies. The pollen just blows around. Have you ever gone outside on a day when there's lots of pollen? Some of us, like me, get a little bit allergic and it makes us sneeze. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. Here's a bee visiting a flower. And here's a hummingbird. Hummingbirds also like to pollinate flowers because they like that nectar. Then they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off onto its pistil. There's the bee getting some pollen and rubbing it off onto the flower. And there's that hummingbird again. See, some of the pollen is getting onto its belly, and then it will rub it off onto the next flower. If a pollen grain from a flower lands on a pistil, the same kind of flower, it grows into a long tube through the pistil into an ovule. This is the beginning of the seed. The seeds grow inside the flower even as the flower begins to die. As the seed becomes bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seed. Here's a pod with peas in it. We like to eat those. When a fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open. The seeds are ready to become new plants. Some seeds will fall to the ground around the base of the plant where they grow. Some pods or fruits open and the seed pops out. Sometimes when birds eat berries, they drop the seeds. Other seeds travel into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There they travel on the water until they stick to dirt along a shore. That's how coconuts grow. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that let them float to the ground like tiny parachutes. Others have wings that spin as they fall. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or people's clothes. Later they drop off onto the ground. A flower bed or vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in the garden. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for the plants. You might also collect your own seeds from plants one year and then plant them again the next year. You don't have to even buy them because the plants make them for us. The beginning of a plant is curled up inside each seed. Fruit is stored inside the seed too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. Here's the food inside for the seed, kind of like the yolk is food for a chick inside of an egg. A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be on or in the soil. Then it needs rain to soak the seed and soften its seed coat. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. A root grows down into the soil. The root takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. Up shoots a shoot. It grows up. Green leaves grow up from the shoot towards the sun. The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from the water and minerals in the soil, the sunlight, and the air all around the plant. Finally, the plant is full grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where new seeds will grow. Many of the foods people eat are seeds, fruit, and pods. They're full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, and they're tasty too. From Seed to Plant Project. How to raise bean plants. First, find a clean glass jar. Take a piece of black construction paper and roll it up. Slide the paper into the jar. Fill the jar with water. Wedge the bean seeds between the black paper and the glass. Place the jar in a warm place. In a few days, the seeds will begin to sprout. Watch the roots grow down. The shoots will grow up. Caring for your bean plants. Put dirt into a big clay pot. Carefully remove the small plants from the glass jar. Place them in the soil, covering them up to the base of their shoots. If you have some compost, this would be a good time to add that too. Water them and watch them grow. Seeds and plants, seeds and plants. Scientists who study plants are called botanists. Some seeds sprout only in the heat of a forest fire. Some plants live for only one season. These are called annuals. Other plants die at the end of a season but grow back the following year. They're called perennials. Plants in the desert, such as cactus plants, store water in their stems. They can live for a long time without rain. Mountain plants are short, so the wind can't blow them over. Plants move. Many flowers open in the morning and shut at night. Some close when it rains. Also, plants move towards light. Some plants eat insects. These plants live in soil that doesn't have enough minerals for food, like a Venus flytrap. The biggest flower in the world grows on the island of Sumatra. It can weigh up to 25 pounds and be 4 feet across. It's called a Rafflesia plant. I think it actually smells pretty bad too. But plants are amazing. Try to keep an eye on the plants in your neighborhood and see what you can observe. And that was From Seed to Plant.